community, this is 𝗙𝗲𝗃, and today what I want to go over is some labs, some pre and post labs. These are pretty significant, and just like the title says, is can your body be rusting from the inside out? And most definitely it can. If you just kind of visualize your body like this rusty car, this is literally what can happen in your body. And clinically, what I've seen is a high percentage of people that have chronic disease, chronic illness, have these markers that are elevated and no one's checked. The conventional system hasn't checked. Other alternative healthcare practitioners have not checked this. So what I want you to do is I'm going to walk you through these labs, and this lady is she's improved significantly, but we did the right test, and we methodically came up with a plan that fit her specific needs for her to get well. So this is one of her emails that she sent me, and I highlighted the most important thing, which is right here. Down here she says, I am still able to go without my Rollator. So what the heck is a Rollator? Is this thing right here. 75% of the time. So she was on this Rollator. Now she's using this Rollator 75% less often. So this is like a huge significant quality of life event that can happen, that has happened in her life. And if you're out there suffering, it could possibly happen in yours. So what I want to go over is just a few labs that we found on her, and some before and after labs, so you can see what we found and what was the result after we did our therapy. So the labs I'm about to show you are roughly 10 weeks apart. Now, one of the first things that we did here is we took a bunch of labs, and one of the markers that we checked is what we call ferritin. Now, what the heck is ferritin? Ferritin is actually a marker for iron storage. Now, this marker can be elevated if you're in a state of chronic inflammation. So it's not as easy as, oh, I'm going to run out and get this marker ferritin, and if it's elevated, you know, I'm going to do a few things and decrease it. So this can be elevated if you're chronically inflamed. So you got to work with a provider that actually knows about this marker and how to handle it. Now, in her case, she was not inflamed. So you can see here that this ferritin is 363. You see the lab range is 15 to 150. Now, the sweet spot is between 40 and 80. Now, what do I mean by the sweet spot? This is where normal, healthy human beings operate and function, where your lab should be. Now, what exactly is ferritin? Ferritin is a marker of iron storage. So just like this rusty car right in here, is what happens is when your ferritin is elevated, this is stored in your organs. So for example, if it's stored in your muscles, you can have fibromyalgia. You can have stiff joints. If it is stored in your liver, your pancreas, or your digestive system, you can have a whole bunch of weird, awkward symptoms because the iron is in that organ causing problems. Now, just like if you let your bike out in the rain, it's going to start to rust. This is what happens in your body when you have high ferritin, which is a marker for iron storage. Now, one of the things is you have to realize that happens is when you have high ferritin, is all your antioxidants. So these are the Pac-Mans that go around and eat all the bad stuff, all the bad debris. Well, when your ferritin is elevated significantly, all your antioxidants are going around trying to handle the iron. And what that leaves you is antioxidant depleted, so you can't actually go around and fight other things. So then you become highly oxidative with stress. So what does that really mean? It means that your body is not going to be able to heal and function and recover, and you are going to continue to get worse and worse and worse over a period of time because you just deplete all your antioxidants. Okay, so you can see right here, her number was 363 on the initial labs, and literally 10 weeks later, we got her down to 106. So she went from 363 down to 106. Now, this is hugely significant. Now, when you go back and you look at her success story, her email that she sent me, she's using basically her walker 75% less now after we started with a program. Why? Because we've decreased her oxidative stress. Her body now can heal and function, and now it can do all the repairing that it once could not do. This is the significant part. It's not like I'm healing her body. She's healing her body. We've gotten her body to heal and function at an optimal level. It's not zipping through all the antioxidants. It's not just worried about the ferritin. This is rusting, it's rusting, it's rusting. All the attention is on that. Not anymore. Now her body can focus on other healing aspects. Now also when we check blood, we check a couple things right here. So you can see the RBC is elevated and the hematocrit is also elevated. You can see This is her range right in here, and then you can see the lab range. Now, after we did our protocols, and one of the protocols was just donating blood. That is part of the protocol. It's not the whole protocol. So this is before here, and then you can see right in here, these are in the normal sweet spot. So when I check for this marker, ferritin, it's not like I only check ferritin. I'm checking all these different lab markers. When clients come to me, we might pull 8, 9, 10 vials of blood. Right? People might think, oh my goodness, that's a lot. But that's what it takes to actually get all these nuances and figure out what's happening. So this is a significant, huge win as well. Then we also checked her, we did extensive testing on her thyroid panel. And I'm going to show you this right here. One of the key things that's never done, which is what we call reverse T3. So you can see reverse T3 right here. Hers is 30.9. And the lab range, we want this to be 9.2 to 24. Now, I generally like to see this around 15. This is the sweet spot is around 15. Now, what this is when you have reverse T3, imagine this does the exact opposite. So everyone knows thyroid is like, this is what gives you energy. This is what allows your cells to function and to actually work. It's like the fuel. Now, reverse T3 does the exact opposite. Envision reverse T3 as being the brakes on your car. So if you're going to drive to work, or you drive wherever you're going to drive to pick up your kids, and you put your brake on 50%, so your brake is on 50%, you're going to use more gas getting to the same place. This is what happens when you have reverse T3. It actually takes more energy to get things done. This comes out when you have a lot of stress in your body, when your body can't handle it. So getting back to this case, if you have high ferritin, your body really can't do any of the other functions it needs to. It's just trying to handle the iron and the ferritin. So what happens is your reverse T3 goes up because your body actually needs to slow down and just focus on repairing the ferritin, the damage. So here, she's at 30.9, and after only 10 weeks later, this is 22.7. So this is a significant decrease in reverse T3. So we know that her body is functioning, healing optimally now. Now, is she going to be 100% better? Who knows? Maybe. That's a possibility, but we're moving in the right direction. This is the key. We're giving her hope, moving in the right direction because we've done a very specific guided plan for her specific needs, come up with her chemistry and her plan to get her better. So I hope you find value in this. I hope you find some inspiration in this. And remember, is where there is help, there's hope. Take care.